The future of Africa in AI begins now. At FTLAfrica, Nova 2 is your ignition trail. Explore cutting-edge tracks built for creators and communicators.
Master the skills shaping the future of tech. Engineer systems that power the world.
Lead with responsibility. Shape the future of Africa.
Don't just watch the AI revolution. Be part of it. Apply now and ignite your journey with Nova 2.
Want to lead Africa's AI revolution?
12 weeks minimum. 9 weeks classes, 2 weeks capstone build, 1 week demo and defense, mentors, real projects.
Lead the future of AI with tracks like Product Manager, Marketing Strategist, Workflow Explorer, and AI Ethicist, shaping innovation with vision and responsibility. Build and power AI systems as a data engineer, AI translator, engagement specialist, developer, or AI ops engineer, driving impact with advanced integration. Go deeper with prompt engineering, AI security and governance, and research and model development, pioneering the next wave of AI innovation.
Spots are filling fast. Apply today and ascend with Pathfinder Charge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of Python from the, I'll call it fundamental or foundational of Python. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped the last time. And we stopped on string in Python. That's where we stopped on. And it's going to be an interactive session where you can stop me and ask me to explain whatever I have done with the code. So feel free to stop me and ask me as we move along with our Python class. So as you can see now, I was talking about string, and I was talking about method. How to use method in a string in Python. So a string can be a word or a sentence. That's what a string can be. So now, as you can see, hello Python is we say it's a double word, hello Python, or a sentence. So what we want to do here, as I stated the last time, is that we're going to change the text, that's the sentence or the words, into uppercase. So if we run this cell, it's going to change to an uppercase. So also, we can still change it to a lowercase by using the lower method. That's what we are doing. We can still change it to lowercase. So also, we can still combine all together and print out everything that we want to do. We can change to uppercase, we can change to lowercase, and we can slide. Sliding means in taking part of the word. I will explain what it means by sliding. This is 0 to 5. Now, Python has what we call indexing. Indexing means that you start counting from 0 down to wherever you are taking your value. So if we start counting from 0 here, which is H, 1, 2, 3, 4. If the last number, which is supposed to be 5, is not counted. Python does not count that. So it's going to just produce hello for us. That's what we are seeing down there. That's what Python has just done for us. So we also have what we call quotes. And we also have quote inside the quote. So what do I mean by that? If you have a quotation mark, so inside the first print statement here, you can see that there's a double quote, there's a small quote, and the end it has a double quote. If you decide to put a double quote here, Python will throw an error. So also this one too, there's a double quote at the end, and there's a single quote inside and a double quote at the end too. So also we have single quote outside and double quote inside. So whenever you are writing a code in this manner, make sure that you use double quote at the end and single quote inside, or single quote at the end or double quote inside. So those are the ways in which you can write a string in Python. So if we run this, there will be no problem. It will print out what we want. Now, we want to assign a string to a variable. And assigning a string to a variable is done with a variable name. I'll explain what that means, followed by an equal sign and the string itself. So we've assigned this string to this variable, and if we want to print out this this hello world, we use this variable in printing out the hello world out. That's how you print out your hello world. Now also we have multiple words, or we call them sentences. We can use double quotation. Our double quotation here is going to be triple, 1, 2, 3, and we'll come down here to 1, 2, 3. So when you want to print out a long sentence in Python, we can still use a single quotation here and also use a single quotation. And the single quotation here is supposed to be 1, 2, 3, and also 1, 2, 3. And we assign it to a variable. So the variable will print it out. That is how it's being done. So also, this one is the same thing as using a single quotation. So that is that. No, now a string can be taken as an array. Array is like you get a number of different things. You put it in numbers. You have a numbers of different things. That's what we call an array. An array is multiple of different things you have. So a string can be taken as an array. So now, how do we print out? How do we print out any of the the alphabet inside a word. How do we print out an alphabet? We call it a character rather than I call it an alphabet. We call it a character. So how do we print out a character? I've explained to you guys that Python use what is called indexing. Indexing is like starting from 0. Now, this age is 0, E is 1, L is, this L is 3, this another L is 4, 0 is 5. So also this comma 2 is being counted. So also the word, this page 2 is being counted. W is also being counted. O is also being counted. R is also being counted. So we count up to the ending of this apostrophe word here. So if we print out, it's supposed to give us E. E is supposed to give us here. So we can still say we want which of the L there or O. If we say we want O, we count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. O is 4. Yeah. So that is just that. That is how Python works. That's what we call indexing in Python. We are going to look. So you should be able to understand what is called indexing in Python. So also we can look through a string, because what I want to do is that we have a lot to cover. So I don't want to waste much time try explaining too many things. So you guys have to bear with me so I can cover as much as possible on this class. So looping through a string, we can loop through. What do you mean by we can when we loop through a string, we can now print out each character in the string. B, A, N, A, N, A. We can now print it out. That's what we mean by we loop through a string. Okay. So this S is going to, and when you are looping through a string, you know that you have to index it. If it's not indexed like this, it will throw an error for you. Python will tell you indentation error. Expect an indented block after. So your best bet is to indent it, and you must put this. You see, when you are looking, this is a for loop method. We will still talk about for loop. When you are using a for loop, you have to put a column at the ending before the print statement and bring the print statement down. So that at the ending, if Python knows that this is a for loop, you are trying to loop over B, A, print the alphabet down. That's what Python knows. You know that you are trying to print out the alphabet. So you should take note of that. That is what Python is doing. We can also calculate the length of our words. By using the length method or function, whatever you call it. It's a length function. By using the length function, we can calculate the number of words we have here. So if we run this, it will tell us that we have 13 words inside it by using the length method. So you should be able to know that Python uses the length function, len, with a bracket showing that it's a function. So that is that for you. Now we can also check inside any word using the in statement. The in, you can also check if something inside a sentence or a word, whether what we want is inside it. So we use the in statement after we inside the variable. Everything here is assumed to be stored inside this TST. So using the in statement here, we can also check whether we have free word inside it or whatever word you feel like using to check. You can check. Suppose we don't have it inside it, what will it give us? We say we don't have what word is it? Maybe let us say one. Let's see what Python gives to us. It gives us false. So we can use the in statement in order to check whether we have a word inside our sentence. So that is that for you. It will give you a false, it will give you a Boolean statement. It's either it is true or it is false. So that is that for you. We can also use the check if not too, or not in to know whether there is something too inside. If like if there's an expenses like this other one too, the not in too. Like you want to know that expenses is in this, you can also print it out and say, and you also find out whether expenses is there or not. Expenses is not there. It's not in. It's not in. That's what it means. It is true that expenses is not there. It's not there. So we can also use that to clarify our expenses too. So these are words you should be try to be familiarizing yourself with when you are writing code in Python. So we can also use the if statement with the not in to print out and tell us whether expenses is there or expenses is not there. But in this case, when you are checking this one, when you are using an if statement, you have to print it out. You have to write a print statement. You have to state it using a print statement to write out what you want, whether it's there or it's not there. So that is different from when you write it in this manner. So you should understand what manner you are trying to write your code out. So we'll be talking about slicing too. Slicing has to do with indexing. You want to pick a part of your word out in order to take part of your word. As I discussed with you guys, that we have to index. Indexing is like counting your word from the beginning. The first Python starts from 0. Everything Python does is start from 0. So if we are going to slice out a word from hello world, we have to count from 0. This is 0. This is 1, 2. So Python is going to print out everything from here to here. It's not going to count the 5th one. So if we run it, it's going to give us. It's going to start from this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So the 5th one is not going to count it. This is supposed to be this. Let's see. If we make it 6th one, let's see. It's going to bring the comma along with it. So that is Python for you. So the last, it doesn't count it That. So also, you are telling Python to count from the beginning and not count the fifth one. Count from the beginning and not count the fifth one. Which is supposed to be the comma in that place. So that is indexing for you, or slicing and indexing. You use slicing and indexing together. We have what we call negative indexing too. We have to go from back. We count from back. You see. We can get our character from back. So let's start from back. The first back own is supposed to be 1 minus 1. So when you are counting this minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, yes, minus 6. So when you are counting from back, you are telling Python that you count from back. It should slice from the back from you. So it's going to start, it's going to look at minus 1 from here. It's not going to count this D is not included. It's going to start this you're going to start from minus 3, minus 4, and going to come to this minus 5. It's not going to include the minus 2 here, which I stated, but not include D. It's not going to include it in that way. I've already stated, talk about printing when you want to do hello world, lowercase. So I've already given you an example of all this one at the beginning. Yeah. So also, we are going to be talking about script. Scripting has to mean space. You use the spacing, that's the white spacing in between. That's what we mean by the script. And it returns the true hello world for you. As it is now, it will return the true hello world. That's what we are. It will just return the true, it's just white spacing. The way you write your code, you want to reduce the white spacing in that place. So also, we are going to be replacing some words inside by using the replace function. Now, we want to replace case by using J to replace it. So that is just that for you. Please, I'm going to be fast because we have a lot to cover. We are going to split this hello world into hello and word. And we are going to get what is called a list. But we've not come to a list before, but I have to just do it. Okay. And we're going to split the word at the comma, where it is at the comma. Okay. And it's going to be this square here is indicating that it's a list. It's a list. If you see something like this, if you write your code in this man, you know that you are listing, you are writing a list in this manner. So we are going to join words together by using the plus sign. Hello world. By using the plus sign. If we want to space the word, we are going to put 2 double quotation marks in order to space the word. So that is that. So let us look at ways in which we can use, there's what we call an F string in Python. They brought it up, an F string in Python was brought up, where you need to put something like how would I put it? A bracket. This is called a what? This is called. It's not really a bracket like that, but it is used in a dictionary manner. When you want to put the variable without uh, without involving the other text, because these other texts you've written down are in in quotation or single quotation, all those things. So when you want to involve this, you use an F string. It is called an F string in Python. It is called a bracket, a curly bracket, sorry, curly bracket. That's what it's called in Python, curly bracket. So you use it to put the word, to put the variable as if you are storing that variable in that position. So we'll be talking, you will take note of how to prepare an F string when you're writing. F is supposed to be outside your word, and your variable is supposed to be inside. So when you are writing, it's just for better writing sake, just to print out. If you are printing out something, just to print out when you are using a string, just for better writing sake. So also, you can still do for the price. You can still do for price too. Just it's the same thing as good age, price, anything you want to put. Write the $59. So if you put it in this position, whatever position inside your text or your string you are using it to do, it is left for you. You can change the position when you want to write a sentence. You want to put something inside that sentence. You can use an F string in order to show and print out what you want to print out. Suppose I want to put a decimal this thing, I can do it into 2 decimal places. I can do it in the form 3 decimal places, whatever decimal places I want. I can do it in that form. Do it in that form. So also, you want to do multiplication too. You can also do it in whatever, using an F string you want to do. So there are cases. I did say that if you are writing a sentence, a word, this one is supposed to be a single quotation inside there, but we'll put a double quotation. But there's what they call escape character you can use, called a backslash you can use in case you feel that you don't want to put a single quotation here. Let me just put a single quotation for you guys here and see. It will work. It will go. It will go. But if I remove and put a double quotation, it will throw up an error for us. So in order for you not to throw up an error, we have to put a backslash in both sides so that it will not throw up an error for us. So that is just that we don't want to use a single quotation there. So these are methods I've outlined for you and their meaning. I will have time in sending it to you guys. But if you want to capitalize, you convert it, the first character to uppercase, the first word. Cash food is convert, center, return. So these are, I'm not going to go through all this. I just wrote it down for you to understand. And these are string methods. These are called methods in string. that are called methods in string. And if you feel like wanting to learn what each one does, you can go through it. There are much, you can go through it and understand what each one does. That is that. So let's talk about Boolean. Boolean is true or false, one or two. So one or zero, I say two, one or zero. So that's what Boolean is all about. So if I print out this using the print function, it will tell me true, false, and false. Let's print it out. Let's see. True, false, and false. So that is that. 10 is greater than 9. 10 is equal to 9, it's false. 10 is less than 9, it's a false. So those are Boolean statements when you are writing your proof. It's either it is true or false. And we use the greater sign equal to, you have to put a double equal to double. If you put a single here, Python will throw an error. And greater than, in order to show that this is that. So also, you can also use Boolean in trying to find out between two variables number. So when you are using Boolean in order to find out two variable number and using an if statement, that's a conditional statement. Okay. No, we've not come to this part, but how to interpret it and express it. It is better stating it in this man because we are still going to come to this part of the Python. So we are talking about Boolean. Boolean is either a true or false statement. So now, if we print out this, we know that A is 200 and B is 33. And B cannot be greater than A. It is wrong. Or else, so Python will first of all look at the first statement. B is greater than A. No, it's not true. It's not true. When A has 200 and B has 33, no, it's not true. They will skip it. They will now go down and check the next statement and say B is not greater than A. And now say, okay, it is true. B is not greater than A. So we'll now print out using the if-else statement. So we'll be talking about if-else statement as we move along. Okay. So we are just only trying to look at a Boolean statement that we have written down. Okay. So B is not greater than A. That is true. So let's evaluate values and variables in this. So to evaluate a string, to evaluate a string, we have to ask like a number. Like, is this true? Is this one a string? Or is this one an integer? That is just what we are asking here. We are evaluating, we are finding out that is it true that this this thing is a string? Is it true that 15 is a number? It will tell us both are true. So also we can still write a statement like this too. Let me just to find out other truths too. The bool. It will still give us like this word, whether it is true. Let's see. It is true. If it's not true, it will give us false. It will give us false totally. We are just only asking whether it is true or it is not true. So also, let we are still it's the same thing. What I just did is that I'm just storing it in a variable. I'm just storing this in a when you are not doing it in this form, you want to store it in a variable and you ask the Boolean. You ask using a Boolean word, it will tell you it is true. So also, it's the same thing we are still asking here. Everything is true. That's what they have stated. Everything is true. This word here is inside the list. It is true. Once it is true, this is everything is true here. So that is just we are just evaluating. So also you can continue to ask as much as possible. The phone will return false because they are all false. So also we want to there's it's just that I'm jumping the gun, but there's something you will still come to all this. There's what they call object-oriented language, but I just have to bring it. But if we are dealing with Boolean, most of all these things will be coming out. So this word here is called dim dom. It is in Python. It is an inbuilt Python for getting the length, the number of items, length statements, all those things. So it is an inbuilt something. So it is inbuilt by Python. If you need to, but since we are using a class which is called an object-oriented language, we are already asking, for you to prove to us. So we define, we now instantiate this class. When we instantiate the class, we will now come and put this word down here and ask with a Boolean whether it will return, it will not tell us it's a false statement because it returns 0 and it cannot return 0. It's a false statement. A length cannot return 0. You must give us a number. Any length. If you want to, you cannot. So it's just asking the question. That is just that. If you are counting something, you cannot get 0. That means that thing does not exist. So there's no need to say length. So that is just that for Boolean. That's what I explained, that one more value or object in this class. It's a class something, evaluate to false, and that is if you have an object that is made from a class with a length function that returns 0 or false. It returns 0 or false. That means it returns 0 here. That means it is false. It returns false. We are talking about 0 or 1, and 1 is true, while 0 is false. So also this is another function. So we are using function, but with time you will understand all what I'm doing. So in Python we write a function. This is supposed to return a true. So if you run this, it will return a true, because return statement return true. That's what I told the function to do. Return true. Print out true for me. So also, this is another function too. It will tell me that if functions print yes or else print no, that means it is true. It is true. That is return yes for me. So it's no, we will still learn what I'm doing about how function works. This is the way function, but what we are doing here, just put your mind that we are talking about Boolean statement. That's what we are dealing about. So you just don't worry about how I'm using it to show you how a Boolean works. Just believe that we are talking about Boolean here. Boolean is either true or false. It's an integer in Python. A data type, sorry, it's not a data type in Python. That's what it means. So this one is instant. That means X here. Instant. Well, I'm already trying to prove that this word, is it an integer? If it's an integer, tell me that it is an integer and S is an integer. I want to just prove that S is an integer. So I'll take the variable here and ask him whether this thing is an integer or not. I'll do just you understand what I'm saying. He will tell me true. Now I'll ask him again. STR. He will tell me false. So that is just what I want to know about that. That is just what I want to know. So is you can use it to check whether what you have there. If we decide to put hello world or hello here and put hello here. If we decide to put hello here and I put STR, it will give me true. So that is just what I am looking for. Instance is instance. So I just want to check whether what I'm having here rhyme with what I'm doing. So that is that for you. We finished Boolean. Now let's talk about operators in Python. Operators in Python is very important. So we have different operators. We have the plus, the minus, the star, that's multiplication. So how do we write this in Python? That is just what I can run this for you. So that is operators in Python. What I did here was simply add this x and y. X is a variable of 10. It holds 10. It stores 10. Y stores 5. And also, so I'm just doing a mathematical operation there for you guys. So there's all the necessary things you know about. This one is incremental. It's the same thing as this operator. So you use your time in understanding what this operator is. As you go along, you will continue to understand what these operators are doing. So these are operators. We can do a comparison of operators too. What we are comparing two variables together, you are doing. So you take your time and go through all these operators greater than, so the examples I've given. So I just have to bring all these. These are operators. Okay. Operators and the logical operators, what the logic is, and the description. I give every description here. So also I give all the description of logical operators, what they mean, and identifications of the operators. I give the logical operation of the operator. So also we can run operators. What if you have a parenthesis? You first of all do this parenthesis, both parentheses first before you now do this. That's what it means. Yes. Parenthesis takes precedence before order, just like in normal mathematics. So if you add 6 plus 3, 9, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 minus 9, 0. So that is that for you. So also this one takes precedence 5 times 3, 15. You add, that's 115. So that is just what Python. So you look at what takes precedence in Python. But when it comes to addition and subtraction, you can do anything with it. No one takes precedence over the other. They're the same. They're just the same. So we are moving on. So let's talk about one of the data structure of Python, which is list. List is one of the big data structure of Python. List. We're going to be talking about list. And you will see list a great deal in Python. You will use it in Python, and it is mutable. List is mutable. Mutable, that means you can add, subtract, change, modify, and do whatever you want to do. People usually call list in Python an array in other programming language. They call it an array in other programming language. So Python in itself uses list as an array to store things. There are other data structure in Python. We have tuple, we have set, we also have dictionary. We'll be looking at those ones as we move along with it. But what we want to do now is to first of all talk about list. What list is all about. Most people still say they are built-in list. So before we look at list, let's look at list method. I want to just look at list method. It's attributes rather. This is list attribute. This is its attribute. This is its attribute. These are its attributes. That is attributes. And we can also call them to turn into a method. So we are going to be looking at how we are going to turn list attribute into a method, which I've explained to you guys. We are going to be looking at list attributes and we are going to turn them into a method. So first of all, let's start with what we call indexing. Suppose we want to pick an apple here. Let me just explain here because there's two things I did here so that you guys will not get confused. The first one I did here, let me push this one up. The first one I did here was to get the first Apple out of Apple. We first to get Apple out of this. That's what I first of all did. The second one I did, so they are combined. It is a combination. Was to append, which is the method of list here. It's called append. When we use append here, we are putting another fruit inside the list. That's what we mean. And we are placing it at the end after sharing. That's what we are doing. So we are placing it at the end after sharing when we put append method. So that is what I did here. That's the two process I've done in this case. So that is that. If we run it, you'll see that we have orange now being inside. So we can combine both together. We have apple out and we have orange. So we combine both together. So that is that. And it will produce a list for us. So I explained some certain things for this item. These items are ordered, changeable, and allow duplicate value. That means we can get apple, orange, orange, apple, all those things that duplicate. These are indexed. That's the first item has index 0 and the second item has index 1. That means the first, which is apple, and the second, which is orange, has it. So order 2. When we say that these are ordered, it means that the items have a definite order and that order will not change. That's what it means. And if you add new items to a list, the new item will be replaced at the end, will be placed at the end of the list, which is called append. You can append it. That's what we call insert too. We're looking at insert too. So when we talk about changeable too, the list is changeable, meaning that we can change, add, remove items in a list after it has been created. So that is that. Also allow duplicate. I've spoken about duplicate to you. Since lists are indexed, lists can have items with the same value. So that is that. So let's move forward and be looking at what we are talking about. So now there are duplicates inside this list. We have apple. Okay. That shows that list has duplicate. So also we have what we call, we want to determine the length. You can determine the length of a list too. There's a function called IEN, length function. We can count the number 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and it tells us it's 3 that is there. So that is that for list. So also, this item can be of any type. We can be of any type. How you want the type to be. These are list items. We don't want this is just by creating a list. When you are writing your code, you are creating a list. That is that. You want to create a list. You want to, this is a data structure. That's how you are going to structure when you are writing a code inside Python. That's what we call data structure. List is one of the data structures you are going to be using. You will now use tuple too. So tuple, set, and this. We'll be looking at the rest later. So let's continue. So how do we access a list, which I told you is by indexing. Indexing means that we can use a square bracket to take out what we want to take out from a list. Banana. If I don't want banana, I want cherry. I'll use 0, 1, 2. I'll use 2. But mind you, do not go more than. If you go more than, if you put 3 here, Python will tell you that indexing error. Let's put 3 and see. Use index out of range. So Python will tell you use index out of range. So that is just that for you. You should be able to count what you are doing. That is assessing in a list. So also we have the negative way of assessing from a list too. Just like we have the positive way of assessing from. There's still also the negative way of assessing from a list. So let's assess from a list to the negative way. We can count from -1, -2, -3. Let's start. Okay. This is -1, -2, -3. Okay. I want to get apple. So that is negative way of assessing from the list. Okay. So also, if we want to remove from a certain point to a certain point in a list, we use the same indexing method, but we know where we want to remove from. Now, we know that apple is 0, banana is 1, cherry is 2, orange is 3, kiwi is 4, melon is 5, and mango is 6. So we want to slide from 2 to 5. Know that Python doesn't add the fifth one. So we start from 2 here, cherry, orange, and kiwi. That's 3, 4. Doesn't put melon as the last one, which Python does. So that is one thing you must put in mind. Know how Python slides from one point to the other. Okay. So that is that. So I hope I've been understood by everybody. Hello, am I still with you people in the class?
You're with us,
You
sir.
can't hear. Somebody say I can't hear anything. Who is that?
You're with us, sir.
Somebody say I can't hear a thing. I don't understand.
I
Am
think
I
that
not?
was a long. I think that was a long time ago.
Okay, 6,
Oh,
9. Oh, so I want to be. But am I understood by you guys so we can continue? I just want to know that we are all moving at the same pace. Are we moving at the same pace?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's look at another way of sliding in a list. Now I've not done this one. I just want to ask somebody in this. Let's just do an interactive section, not just me solving the problem. Can somebody tell me what the result of this one is going to be? You can print it in the or just say it. Let me just. I hope you can see the screen. You guys can see the screen.
yes, sir.
Can somebody tell me what the result is going to be? Anybody? Just count from apple. Apple is 0, banana is 1, cherry is 2, orange is 3, kiwi is 4. So what do you think the result is going to be? And melon is 5, mango is 6. Tell me what do you think the result is going to be? Let me just give you a hint. It's not going to count the fourth one. That's a hint. So tell me what it's going to be. I've given you a hint. It's not going to count the fourth one. Its indexing is from 0. Can you also just tell me, at least you should be able to know the result without me running the code.
Okay, it took
Sorry,
apple,
I'm explaining to you.
right?
Good.
Apple, banana,
Yeah.
cherry, and orange.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Who is that guy that just said it? Beautiful for the print. Indented, tinted server. Sorry. Who is that guy that just said it?
I
Beautiful. You are now a Pythonistic guy. Pythonista, they call you now. So that's what I want you guys to think. I don't want you guys to you should be able to know your result before the result comes in. You should be able to know that I'm explaining everything to you guys. So that you'll be able to know what you want. So when we are writing code like this, you, the person that is writing the code, you're able to know what the result is going to be. Though I stated it up, maybe you would have seen it, all those things. But what I'm writing here, at times when you write a code, put one thing in mind, that you must explain what that code is doing. For somebody to see the code and say, okay, this is what the code is doing. So I've explained that by writing comments and making comments on it. So you should be able to know what the code is doing. So that's just that. I just want us to be in the same page. I just give that simple basic. So like this one now, where do we start from? Anybody? Where do we start from? Where do we start from?
We start from cherry.
Beautiful. We start from cherry, which I've stated. Somebody is supposed to see to start from, and towards the end, it goes to the end. It is not being stopped. So those are that. I just want us to be interactive. So this other one too is the same, but this is more of a negative type. So when we start from negative type, we are not including mango. We are not including mango. So mango here is -1. Melon is -2. Kiwi is -3. Orange. We're including orange in the item. So we start from, we're not including mango at the end. So when we always start from orange, kiwi, and melon. So that is just that. We're not including mango in our. So also, we can also do, we also check, this is just to check whether there's apple in this place. It's just to check using an if statement. It's just to check. If apple in this variable, is apple in this variable? Tell us yes. That's just to check. That is just to check whether apple is in the variable. That's just that. It's just to check. The checking method. So also we can check banana is in the variable. So also we can change an item. If we want to change an item, which is banana, we bring the variable, we bring a square bracket, we put the square, we bring the, we now look at where we want to change. We now look at where we want to change, which is banana, and banana is 1. We put in it, and we now bring our, we want to change it to black current. We now put it here. So whatever we want to change, we bring our variable, we index, we look at the index. If it were to be okay. Let's say we want to change cherry. We now say 0, 1, 2. We now put 2 there. So it's cherry that we want to change. We are not changing banana anymore again. We change cherry. So if we want to change apple, we put 0 there. We now change apple. So we can change their position using the name of the variable. We square it and put the index and put an equal sign to it, and whatever we want to change, we change. So also we can do the same, multiple changes here. We can do multiple changes starting from banana and cherry. We can do that. We can do multiple changes. I hope I'm making sense. Hello,
Yes, sir.
you guys should talk to me. I'm making sense. Yes. So I'm
Yes,
happy.
sir.
I'm making sense. Yes. So also we can also decide to change banana and cherry too. Also, we can change the value of what we want in this one. No, we are not changing, we are adding. We are putting it to the second value here. We are adding it to make it. We are not changing, we are replacing it with 2 new values. So we are not changing it, we are replacing it. We can do the method by replacing. We can replace. This is replace, not changing. We are changing is almost the same thing. We are replacing. We are not changing. We are replacing the this thing by that method. So this one too is the same thing. The second
Sorry, sir.
and the third value by
I have a question, sir.
okay.
This
You can ask the question.
okay, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Yeah, the what do you call it now? The 75th code, 75.
75, okay.
Yeah, he said
This
he
one.
says the comment says change the values banana and cherry with values blackcurrant and watermelon. So banana is 1, right? Cherry is 2. Cherry is 2.
This
So
one is changing. This one is changing. No,
so
banana is 1.
but in the list you put 1:3 instead of 1:2. Sorry, yeah, 1:2.
No, I'm saying we should change melon and cherry, all those type of things. Yes. Because it moves in this direction now. It moves in this direction. It will not go to the orange area. It only goes to cherry and this. It's not going to the. We are moving in this direction.
Okay, I was thinking that 1:3 specifies 1 and 3. It's okay.
It
It's
will
1
not
to 3.
touch. Will not touch. Will not touch the third one.
Okay.
Python doesn't go to the third one. The last one is not going to be touched. So when he's counting, he's bringing this. He doesn't touch this. So that's why I'm stating it now. Stating that the change the second value by replacing it with 2 new values. It is the second value by replacing it with 2 new values. It doesn't go to the third one. It will not. It is 1 and 2. Yes, but it doesn't count. It doesn't put this one. This cherry now. It will not near it. It will not near. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what it does. It only replaces the second value. Yes, which is banana. By using 2 this thing here. It's only replacing this second value, which is banana. So also, it changes the second and the third. This second and the third value by replacing it with one value. This second and the third. This one, this second and the third. That's why we see from 1 to 3. Everything here you replaces it. It will be apple and watermelon now. You understand now?
Yes, 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 yes.
You just have to understand the indexing attitude, how it does its indexing. So that's what now there's another method called insert, which I've explained. Now, this position, which is 1, 0, 1, 2, now is going to push cherry further. The insert method insert an item at the specified index. So it's going to push cherry to go to the end, and you put melon in that place. Can you see? Using the insert method, because you told it to insert it at index 2, and cherry is occupying index 2. Melon go to index 2. Cherry now go to index 3. I hope I'm making sense. That I'm stating what we are doing.
Yes.
Yes. I'm explaining it at the top for you guys to understand. I'm commenting. One thing you guys should understand: if you are writing a code, please comment on that code so that anybody that is seeing the code will understand what you've done. You understand what I'm saying? Any person who sees your code, if you just write a code and you don't put any comment and you just run the code, it will not make sense. It's only you one that knows what that code has been done. It's only you one who knows what that code has. So when we talk of append is still another method in list. So an append goes to the ending. Using append method, it goes to the ending. That always goes to the ending. So also it's the same thing. This we can also change banana insert. We push banana from position. Well, the position is. So that is just that. So also there's what we call extend too in as if I'm just using his method. There's a word called extend. Extend is that you can join two lists together. I hope you guys are getting this. These are the method of list. That's what we are using here. These are the method of list. I stated it here. This is extend, there's count, there's index, there's insert, there's pop, there's remove, there's revise, there's sort. So we're going to be doing on each method. That's what I'm explaining on each method. Yeah, what we are doing on. I told you about method how to if you put a bracket in front of this, if it's just there are attributes, but when it comes to method, you put a square like this. Let me explain here. If you write a list like this and you put extend, extend is just an attribute. it will not perform anything. It's an attribute. Though it's an attribute error, it's telling me, but it will not perform anything. Nothing it will perform. So extend, so G, not, it's supposed to be like, it will not perform anything. It will not perform anything. It is just an attribute. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? But when you put extend and now put something like this, it expects to perform a method in it. It expects to perform a method with it. So that's what we are doing here. So, and what sort of method are we performing? We are adding two lists together. That's the method we are performing. We are not that we are adding, we are joining. We want extend and be a joint word. Apple, banana, cherry, mango. So that is just extend for you. You don't have much time. So I want to be fast. So also, you can also use extend with tuple. We'll be talking about tuple too. Tuple is another data structure in Python, which is written in bracket form like this. We'll be talking about it. You can use it for tuple in order to add kiwi orange to join apple, banana, and you can also use it. It will give you a list. It will produce a list. So, but we'll be talking about tuple later on. It's supposed to be our next, after list, it's supposed to be our next data structure. So also, another method in list is remove. Remove is another method. We want to remove something out of the list, which is banana. We can remove it. It's a method in Python called remove. We remove it. So these are methods we are looking at in list in Python. List method. So is removing more than banana. If you want to remove banana, why are you removing it? Wait, there's a problem here. Let me see. So I want to see something. If we are calling too many things together, it's removing things. When you are using, let's use this one. I want to run it like this. So why are you removing? You have to remove a banana. Okay, sorry. It has removed banana. I'm the one making mistake. It has removed banana. I was looking at, so it's supposed to remove every banana. So the result is supposed to give me apple and cherry. So I was wondering, my head was calculating. So also, well, in this case, it's supposed to be, banana is not supposed to be inside the list.
Did you upside room?
Banana is not supposed to be. Remove the first occurrence of banana. Okay, there are two bananas there. So the first one, that's what is going to remove.
If some part of the player's body
So
is still
there's somebody making noise in the background. There's what we call pop too. Pop is a method. A method in
you know that Barcelona plays
so,
a line.
a method. This is pop. pop. Pop is a method in a list. You can turn it to a method. This is an attribute, but when you turn it to a method, okay, in a list. So now we are going to talk about pop, how to use pop. We are going to talk about how to use pop. But one thing you must understand is that if you write the index of the pop, which is banana one, we want to remove, pop will remove banana. But if you don't write anything for pop, you don't state anything for pop will remove cherry. So that is just that. You have to state it, what you want to remove. So I will not go up, because by default, it removes the last value, by default. So it's the same thing I was trying to do here, but I've just stated it here for you guys to understand. So if you want to remove without, this is not delete, DEE is not necessary a Python, it's not necessary a method, but you can use it. That's why it's being stated. It's being used at the front here. That's why it's being used at the front before the variable. It's not necessary. This is being used at the front. It's not a method in list, but it can be used. It's also being used for tuple and the rest. So we can use it. But if you use it, please state the one you want to remove out of the list, which is apple. You can remove, you must state, if otherwise, if you decide to, if you don't state it, you will remove everything out. You remove everything out. If you remove everything out now, if you run this, it's supposed to give you empty. It will give you an error that it does not exist. This thing is supposed to give you an error that it does not exist. Because you've deleted everything out. You've deleted everything out. So please do state when you are using the DEL for delete. State what you want. So also we can use clear to clear all what you want. That the list still remains, but it has no content. That if you do not want anything inside the list, it will just produce a list for you without anything. So I hope we are learning. I don't have much time. I don't want to run through to be fast. So also we can loop through a list and print out the list out. Apple, banana, and we can loop using a for loop to do that. We will print out what we want. So also we can use the range. When you use the range, you will number each one out. It's like, let me give you an example. A range. You put the length like this. You put this one. Okay. Okay. Let me go. Let me do something first. Bring this one up. Yeah. now come here and do something. Because what I'm doing is that I'm compacting it together. So I'm just breaking it down for you guys to see. This is 3. So range, when you're using range, it's like a count. And it will now print out each one. That you are counting apple, banana, and the rest. You are counting. That's what range is all about. So you are counting, we print out the form of count. So it sees apple, but this one is telling it, take number 1, which is apple, print it out for me. You will still use your indexing. You still use the variable with the indexing in order to print out what you are doing with range. We still talk about range very soon. Range is very important. We still talk. So that's just when you are using range in order to print out your on list. You first of all do the length. Then after the length, you now index. You now do a for loop. But that is not. We'll be talking about those later on. So also, there's what we call a while loop too. You can use a while loop that you can use the length. If I is greater and use the counter, this is called, you initialize the counter by starting from 0. This is called a counter. It counts process. You initialize the counter. I is a counter, which is equal to 0. You initialize it so that it will be counting. If it's less than 3, it will stop. If it's less than 3, it will stop. So I don't know. We're almost time up. So that is just that. So let me just end this here. When we come the last this thing, the last class, or let me just continue add because we wasted 6 minutes. Okay, let me just talk about list comprehension. And we end it with list comprehension. List comprehension is another way in Python in which a list is being run inside. A list is being run inside the list. That means you can run this variable inside the list. You put a list bracket inside it and you run the variable inside it. That's what list comprehension is all about. You create this variable now is this, and this variable put it will now start running it inside the list. So those are the things there. That's what is called list comprehension, and we look at it as being faster than normal list. So this is a variable that contains a list. Now we still create a list inside to run it. That's what list comprehension is talking about. It will run normal things. So it's what this is telling that there's nothing inside the list at the moment. The list, we've printed out everything and there's nothing inside the list. We can also use what we call a map. A map is what we'll be talking about in order to run this, but that is not. I just brought this one in order not to, if we don't need, normally this method is not the best, using print statement inside here. We are not supposed to use print statement inside. If we are to use this, we are supposed to do it in the form of like this. That's the print statement inside it. And okay, put a variable, let's just say a variable df inside it and run it. If we run it and we run and say what is df, we still run it. It will then come out. This is the best method of running it. This is the best method of running this compression. We can still run this, we can still put out in this manner. That means we don't want to make it a list. If we don't want it to be in the form of a list, okay, we'll run it in this manner. This underscore with this map reduced now will not give us this, will not be bothered about the result. That it will come out in this manner. But that is not list comprehension for you. This one is not list comprehension. I just included it to show you guys something. So list comprehension is a very good way of doing. So I don't want to go further. Let us just leave it. When we come, we'll be talking about list comprehension in more detail. Let me don't lose time. Hello, I don't want to take most of your time. We will start from list comprehension in the last class, and I'll go as fast as possible in the next class. So for today's class, I see that we are through by it. So I will stop to share my screen. So when we come back, the last class we are going to be giving us, we are going to be going as fast as possible. Thank you all.
The future of Africa in AI begins now. At FTLAfrica, Nova 2 is your ignition train. Explore cutting-edge tracks built for creators and communicators.
Master the skills shaping the future of tech. Engineer systems that power the world.
Lead with responsibility. Shape the future of Africa.
Don't just watch the AI revolution. Be part of it. Apply now and ignite your journey with Nova 2.